Hey everybody, welcome back. I decided to kick things off with a really fast, simple tutorial. So today we're going to do the Sharpie tie-dye on some white canvas shoes. So the only materials that you're going to need is whatever you want to tie-dye. I've seen people do it on shoes, pillowcases, t-shirts. You're going to need a collection of Sharpies. I have both the fine tip and the standard. Either will work. You're going to need some alcohol. I think most tutorials I've seen have called for 90% alcohol. I only have 70%, so we're going to kind of see if it works in the same way. I've put that in just a little cup or a little bowl to make it easier to maneuver, and I've got a dropper.
I had a ticket to ride before you broke it for real, and I know that nobody could ever take your place in the static space. I had a ticket to ride. If you try me for real, 'cause I know that nobody could ever fill your space, and we know it, and we know it.
I've done a few spots on here already, so just kind of with a little bit of trial and error, I find that what has worked best for me is to start with the darker colors in the middle and also to not make the circles as big as I had been making them, and to not put them as close together. When I first started, I just did like a bunch of colors going all the way across. And what I was hoping for was that they would kind of bleed into each other and go for more like a rainbow stripe effect more than like an actual tie-dye effect. But the darker colors just like kind of blended all in one, so it just looks like a big dark spot. And for the lighter colors, it didn't actually bleed that much, so I don't know if that was the concentration of my alcohol or if it was just because the circles were so big and so dark. And it doesn't look too bad. I don't mind the way that it looks, but I do like the way that like the starburst style has ended up a lot better than just these solid blocks of color. In this case, I was just trying to fill some space. I don't think I would do that again. If you like the look, that's definitely something that you can do. And I also wouldn't recommend going like kind of mishmash. I just did like circles because I was kind of getting frustrated, and I just did colors all over and let that bleed through. And I don't think that that has quite the same effect either. But starting with your darker colors in the middle, going for the lighter colors. I'm not sure about like the darker ring around it. I mean, this doesn't look bad. I like the way that this looks, but I do think you want to not put all the dark colors together and all the light colors together. Just kind of mix it up a little so you get that like nice transition. I'm going to add just a little orange and yellow to this one, and then I'll add the alcohol in it and show you guys how that looks. I also would definitely recommend working in smaller patches. I think if you do too big of an area and then add your alcohol, like some of the ink has dried a little better and it doesn't bleed as much. Again, that could be just the concentration of my alcohol, so if you have the 90% alcohol, you could also conduct a couple of tests on your own. And I found that the look that I like kind of gets created from really saturating it. So after having done the tutorial, I think that the biggest tip that I would have would be just to do a little bit of spot testing on a place that's not quite as prominent as the very front part of the shoe, just to make sure that your colors are all going to blend together the way that you want them to. I wish that I had done that, because if I had, I probably would have done a lot more of like the starburst style and a lot more of like the brighter colors. They kind of got a little dark just on like this front part of the shoe. But I actually really do like the way that they came out. I mean, they're getting me psyched for summer. It was a really fun, easy tutorial. It'd be something great that you could do with kids or having a bunch of friends over and having a decorating party. And it's a really cheap tutorial. I mean, right now, these white canvas shoes were on clearance at Michael's for $5. I know Walmart has just like cheap Ked styles shoes. I think they're like $5 or $10. Of course, there's always Amazon. I mean, it's a really inexpensive project. Alcohol is just something I had on hand. All the Sharpies are something that I already had on hand, but even those are pretty inexpensive. So this is definitely be something that you can do with a larger group, or if you have little ones. Something fun to do when they're, home on vacation. We've got spring break coming up. We've got summer vacation coming up. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything specific that you would like to see. And we'll see you next time.